Well, turning to fire watch as the season sparks up, officials at Yellowstone National Park are investigating a 4-acre human-caused fire. At about 6 p.m. yesterday evening, a fire began spreading through the north entrance station and the Gardner River. Now, the north entrance was closed for a half an hour and the fire was quickly contained. Anyone who has any information is encouraged to call the park's 24-hour tip line. Callers will remain anonymous. And now we head to the biggest fire in the state, now burning in western Montana, that has now burned over 4,000 acres. The lightning-caused blaze is located 14 miles southwest of Ronan on the Flathead Indian Reservation and is now burning almost 5,000 acres. It's being managed by a local Type 3 incident management team, and there are 170 personnel assigned to the incident. The blaze is burning in grass and timber along a steep, rocky, rugged terrain. No structures or other infrastructures are threatened at this time, but high winds are forecasted for today and tomorrow, and crews will focus on hotspots that are near the fire's perimeter. The CSKT Division of Fire reports Friday's planned burnout operation was a success, and they controlled the lines, and fire crews attacked the lightning-caused Moss Ranch fire near Ronan with a burnout operation today while setting a perimeter to secure fire lines. And we will hope to have another update tomorrow. Joining me now to dig a little deeper into weather with Brett McCrummon. Fires are starting to spark, and there was a fire watch warning earlier today.
Yeah, that expired at 9 o'clock. That was due to some low humidities and some gusty winds. Let's take a look at relative humidities right now, and you can still see that things are, well, they are rising right now, but we still only have 28% humidity in Helena and 30% in Havre, and it was much of north central Montana that had the fire warning in effect, like I said, until 9 o'clock tonight. That has since expired, and those humidities are starting to go up. As we take a look at wind speeds right now, they have tapered off quite a bit from where we were at 5:30 this evening, where we saw wind gusts over to 40 miles an hour in Cutbank and Havre. Great Falls was gusting into the 30-mile-an-hour range, and those are what we look for to that helps to spark the wildfires, and we'll have to watch and see. But we're looking at cooler temperatures for tomorrow. That should help out a little bit. We'll have your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Brett. Well, it's official. One local baseball team has punched their ticket to the Northwest Little League Regional Tournament in San Bernardino, California. In a 2-game series, the Heights national team from Billings beat Mount Jumbo from Missoula. Last night, the Heights national team shut out Mount Jumbo 11-0. Tonight, the team closed it out in 4 innings, 13-1. Next stop for Heights National, San Bernardino on August 4th.
Oh, it's awesome. We started in January, and we just been working to this moment, so it's awesome.
To help these boys on their way to San Bernardino, you can send checks or cash to P.O. Box 5053, Billings 59105. Well, the competition has started and is all week, ended today for the 101st Great American Hill Climb, one of the nation's largest hill climbs, and remains the oldest and longest running motorcycle event. Riders and spectators come from around the nation and the world. The Great American Hill is unmatched in pro rider terrain and design and is known as the hill climbing capital of the world. Competitors, families, friends, but what about someone behind the scenes with an event like this? It takes lots of help, from road bikes and fallen cyclists to what they call catchers saving the day.
Yeah, that's a pretty crazy job. I have guys up there that have been doing this 20 plus years, and they come here just to do this. So those guys hang off ropes and hang off hooks, and they'll hook the bike, and usually by the end of the weekend they've got burns and bruises and cuts, and but you couldn't peel them off that hill. They love it.
Well, from an event like this, we slither on over to exotic snakes, lizards, pythons, and scorpions. All those animals found today here in Billings at the Big Sky Reptile Expo. The expo has been going strong for 7 years. Reptiles available for purchase were put on display by pet vendors, and kids could see and touch the creatures in an educational show put on by James of the Jungle. James says some people are drawn to reptiles because they're unusual and not something you see every day. James introduces us to one-of-a-kind lizard named Groot.
This is Groot. Groot is a caiman lizard. Caiman lizards, and to my knowledge, to our knowledge, he's the only caiman lizard in Montana. They're rare. They're very rare. They're from South America. These guys are really unique. They have the body of a crocodile, but they're not in no way or relation to the crocodilian family. Probably our prized possession or prize in the collection.
Good old Groot. James said all the reptiles at the expo were raised in captivity. He said taking the animals from their natural habitat is destructive to the ecosystem. Well, it's become a Montana tradition. The Red Ants Pants Music Festival is taking place in White Sulphur Springs this weekend, and MTN's Gabby Crevitt has more.
Tucked away in a cow pasture in White Sulphur Springs is the Ant Colony, a nickname given to the venue where the Red Ants Pants Music Festival takes place every summer.
I went to all the music last night. It was a great time. Danced the whole night away.
More than just a music festival, the event holds family-friendly activities focused on agriculture and holds workshops on how to cross-cut wood and even how to fix a barbed wire fence. The event also brings in food vendors and artisans from across the state.
It's been incredible and surrounded by true artisans. The craftsmanship here is incredible.
Over the course of the weekend, White Sulphur Springs, which has just under 1,000 people, sees a few more faces in town.
This year, 14,000 to 15,000 people are expected to join the festival, which is a huge moneymaker for the small town of White Sulphur Springs. People are driving from across the state and across the country to take part in this Montana tradition.
So there was this really good artist on the side stage over there who I really liked, so that was really fun to watch.
Headliners this year at the music festival are Patty Griffin, The Shaky Graves, Coulter Wall, and Valerie June.
The music last night was awesome. Ended too soon, I think, but it was good. It was really good. Yeah.
In White Sulphur Springs, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Thank you, Gabby. Well, this weekend, it's about remembering, learning, and looking to the future at Hart Mountain in Cody, Wyoming. The internment camp was home to Americans of Japanese descent during World War II. 10,000 were at Hart Mountain, and a total of 120,000 were interned. Q2's David J. has more from the Hart Mountain pilgrimage.
There's quite a bit to learn here at Hart Mountain. There's a barrack there in the back. That's an actual barrack that they found several years ago. And some of those interned here talked about what it was like to live in those back in the 40s. Also, Norm Mineta, Alan Simpson, they also talked. And we also caught up with Tom Brokaw, who's had quite an involvement here with the Hart Mountain Foundation.
So it was very difficult during Vietnam because people had very strong feelings about that. It was very difficult during a lot of times in our lives, the civil rights movement, for example. But at the end of the day, people understood that we're only going to move forward if we move forward together. And I think this is a perfect example of the Japanese Americans who were here overcoming great odds and going back to their communities, rebuilding their businesses, reclaiming their homes, becoming American citizens, becoming American public servants. The role of journalism is to point out what can be done, what should be done, what happened, and then people have to respond to that.
The stories continued in the afternoon with Judge Lance Ito from Los Angeles talking about what it was like for his family to stay here at Hart Mountain. That's the latest from out here. Zoe, will send it back to you.
Thank you, David. And the Hart Mountain Wyoming Foundation presented Tom Brokaw with the Compassionate Witness Award. We will have more on Sunday from Judge Lance Ito, former Senator Alan Simpson, and former Congressman and Cabinet Secretary Norm Mineta, who himself was an internee at Hart Mountain. Well, up, up, and away. The magic is in the air tonight as hundreds packed Amon Park. From face painting, balloon art, things for the kids, and entertainment. Live music, and even to light up the Magic City. Looks like we started with Humpty Dumpty. Balloons over Billings were all over the field tonight, illuminating the city, and we're there to experience the beautiful show. People packed the field, standing side by side with the giant balloons that lit up with personality. And it was an evening event of the summer, and it was quite the sight out there. And after the show, you must not miss the movie Dumbo. It was a good time out there. Stay with us, more to come on the 10 o'clock news. After the break, we meet a man making a difference across northwestern Montana and giving back to people with special needs. And later in sports, can Billings golfer Joey Moore finish off his first men's state AM title? Highlights from the final round on the way.
You're watching MTN News with Zoe Zandora, Storm Tracker weather with Rob Griggs, and sports with Casey Conlon. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.